Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I've been re-adding music because I don't know if there was a warning and I just forgot about it, or if there wasn't warning, but suddenly I couldn't access my Apple Music at all because I didn't realize you guys canceled the subscription. So I was like,
at one point I was like, did Don ever tell Malcolm that he did that? And then I didn't know when it was gonna.
I was told about the YouTube premium things. We could do the YouTube music and stuff, but I didn't realize that I wasn't gonna have time to transfer my stuff over real quick.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine. She still has some of my music. Shelby does.
Oh yeah.
So I can at least look at that. But it's kind of made me explore the songs that I really like to try and start rebuilding my thing. And I never realized how much I liked punk music.
Like punk or
Punk rock.
like
MCR, Green Day.
Violent Femmes. So we canceled Apple bundle stuff and we're moving to YouTube Premium.
I'm guessing that means we also don't have Apple TV anymore.
Correct.
I forgot we even had it, to be honest. So
Not a huge loss.
not a huge loss.
I was never willing to get rid of it while Ted Lasso was a thing, but I don't know. There's just not enough on there to make me feel like I really need to keep it. But yeah, I didn't do that with my music either. And part of the reason is I was like, you know what? I'd like to kind of start over, because I know which artists I really like, and that stuff will obviously get added.
Yeah.
The only thing I was a little worried about is that there are some songs I added at different points, but I heard it and I just added it.
They're the random songs.
Yeah, and I never quite paid attention to what the title was or the artist. So I'm not going to be able to find it again. I'm actually really terrible about keeping track of artist names and song
I'm terrible
titles.
at that because people will be like, have you ever heard of this artist before? And I'll be like, nope. And then they'll play 3 of the songs. I'm like, I've heard every single one of those songs.
Yeah, I do that all the time. And anyway. So I'm not very good at that. But
yeah, I don't know. I really like the fast-paced, hard-hitting songs like Teenagers or No.
nah.
That's literally what it's called. Actually, I think it's just called No.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's funny. Do you know how songs will sometimes have the title of the song and then in parentheses next to the title, they'll have some of the lyrics so people can find the song easier?
Oh, that's helpful.
You didn't know that was a thing?
I guess I didn't realize that. No.
Oh.
I told you I don't pay attention to song
Fair enough.
titles.
Fair enough. But the title of the song by MCR is Na. And then in parentheses, it's na. Okay.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Did you so before we get into whatever music you're getting, everything, there was a TikTok video that I ended up going down a rabbit hole of all the stitches, because it was a guy going, you can't summon a generation with just a song. And then people were stitching it and being like, oh yeah. And then, so for Gen X, the first one I saw was Violent Femmes, Blister in the Sun. And it was just
I love that song.
And all she did was hold up her guitar and strum doom 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 doom. Yeah. And then another Gen X one was oh crap, is it called Let's Go Crazy? It's the Prince song where he starts with Dearly Beloved.
Yeah.
All that. And and those two I instantly was like, I sat up like a prairie dog, oh, are we having a meeting? But then they did the one for millennials. They said, and I loved this. She was like, oh, I can do it with just one note. And she goes over to a piano and hits the first note of Black Parade.
Yep, I was just about to say that. I was just about to say it's Black Parade because I instantly, because it's the
so
dun Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Because Black Parade was one of the first ones I added to my YouTube music.
Oh, yeah? I love that
and
song. But I was like,
When I was.
yeah, I was like, it is so recognizable from the just one note. Like that is.
It is. It really
fantastic. There was one I wanted to ask you about. I can't remember what it was now, but I feel like it was from like maybe a TV series or something.
I don't know.
Darn it. I'm going to have to look that up.
It was funny though, as well, because I was looking through like the suggested music and stuff like that, and I was like, is it using my Apple Music records or something? Because it's like suggesting to me like soundtracks from some of my video games that I had on my Apple Music, and then I realized it's my YouTube.
Right.
It is suggesting.
How does it know?
Based on the stuff that I watch.
How
does it know?
Oh wait, I think it was Secret Tunnel.
Secret Tunnel.
Yes, that was it. What was that?
I don't know.
How did you know it then?
Because our friend group does it all the time, but I have no idea what it's from.
Do you know what it's from, Shelby? What's it from? It's from Avatar? How did you not know that?
Right.
How did you not?
I
am
forget.
disappointed. You know what's funny is that's actually what I was going to guess, was that it was from Avatar, but I don't know.
Secret Tunnel.
Was that what's his name saying it?
Sokka?
Sokka? Yeah.
Probably.
Okay.
No, it wasn't.
No.
Any of the derpy stuff, I just assume it's Sokka.
Shelby knows all.
She knows way more about Avatar than I
Really?
do. So
Who was saying it? Okay, so I don't know if the microphone would have picked her up, but she said it was a villager.
Yeah.
And the village was migrating through the secret tunnel.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Something like that. So that's funny.
Anything I ever remember from Sokka is when he's high on cactus juice in the desert.
Oh, yeah, you say mushroom.
Friendly mushroom! Mushy giant friend!
Something like that.
You walked around saying that for the longest time after you first saw it in an episode.
So funny.
You walked around the house all the time saying it was so funny. But yeah. So anyway, I find that I just went down a rabbit trail. And some of the videos I was like, I think maybe you're summoning a specific subset of that generation because like, it's not, because there were like tons with Violent Femmes, there were tons with Prince, there were several Michael Jackson ones, like, you know what I mean? And actually a few people did the Black Parade one, and
See, the Black Parade is a really good song, but I think Mama is my favorite from that album.
Mama, we all go to hell.
from My Chemical Romance.
From that album
From
specifically.
that album
Maybe from MCR period, but Mama is a very good song.
You say Mama, and all I can think of is Bohemian Rhapsody.
Just killed a man.
Which was one of the other ones someone did, and I was like, okay, which
I was
which
like,
generation
that's
are you summoning?
Everyone is being summoned.
Yes, there were
by
some
Bohemian
that
Rhapsody.
said I can summon all four generations, and they played the MASH theme, and I was like,
No.
I don't feel like my son would know what that is.
I know the MASH theme,
Oh,
but
you
I don't care for it.
Well, yeah, but you would know it.
Fair enough, but that doesn't summon
I guess
me.
more people. Yeah, okay, summon. Yeah, that's the key word.
But yeah,
Summon.
I was gonna say installed like their video games. I added a lot of MCR stuff for the most part, some Daft Punk stuff.
Oh, of course, that's not shocking to me at all.
But yeah, Welcome to the Black Parade, Teenagers, Mama, Na 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 Na. I Don't Love You.
I do love the Teenagers song.
I love Teenagers. It's such a
Yeah.
good song. I was telling Shelby that MCR is one of the few like music groups where I feel like they can consistently with their music like make me physically react to music.
Interesting.
Because I feel like a lot of music I can listen to it, but I feel like anytime I listen to or most MCR songs, I'm like headbanging to it and like singing along with it.
You know, it's interesting because I definitely notice a difference in how I'm feeling if I start my day off with music versus if I don't. And, you know, your dad has told me a ton of times. He's like, if you want to listen to music while you're getting ready in the morning, I don't care. Even if I'm still asleep, if I need to go back to sleep, I will go back to sleep. Don't worry about it. But I feel like if he's still sleeping, I'm like, oh, I don't want to, you know, be disruptive.
Yeah.
And, you know, and so a lot of times I don't start my day off with that. But
I know this because Dad will sometimes not be here on a trip or something, or he will go somewhere early in the morning, and I'll come upstairs, and you're like, music is blasting from upstairs.
yeah, I like to start with like upbeat songs that, you know.
No, I totally understand that.
Yeah.
It's hard because I always want to listen to songs with lyrics in them because, like I said, I really like punk music, and it's not usual that punk music doesn't have lyrics in it. But if I'm working, I feel like I want non-lyrical stuff.
That is.
But the only
I
music-
didn't turn my notifications off.
The only music I actually like really like to listen to is probably lyrical music. Like I like video game soundtrack stuff, but a lot of the video game soundtrack stuff is like on the more like epic side of things, like the really
More epic.
I don't know how else to describe it.
No, you're right. Epic is actually
It's
a good word.
Like when it like is crescendo the right word?
When it gets louder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like something like absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Where you can like feel the rousingness of it and like like gets you excited and pumped.
Yeah.
And that's not good for working.
right.
I'm not supposed to be sitting on my chair like,
Yeah, I have the same thing. I actually, most of the time when I'm working, I listen to brown noise. Or I listen to rainycafe.com. Because they have two sounds you can like toggle on their website. One is rainstorm, and two is background chatter of a cafe.
I've actually heard that some of the best music to study to is video game music because video game music is like psychologically made to keep the player focused on the video game. So if you listen to video game music while doing homework or something, it'll keep you more focused on whatever it is you're doing.
That's interesting. Well, classical music has always been, and I would say that's sort of where, you know, video game music arises out of.
I'm going to listen to Ride of the Valkyries while doing my math homework.
Hey, maybe you will feel math homework.
Just saying something random.
Maybe you'll
I don't
feel
have math homework.
maybe you'll feel it'll make you feel more confident to finish whatever you're working on. No, but there's all these studies about how classical music changes your brain and stuff, and so it's always good. But my problem with that is because I studied classical music in my undergrad and I had to pass exams that were like, play a snippet of music.
Yeah.
And I had to be like, it was this composer and this work, which, as I've told you before, I don't always pay attention to songs.
I feel like out of all the memory tests, though, music is probably one of the easiest ones to do it to because
That's fair.
music really embeds in your brain.
It really does. But because I had to study all of those, you know, a lot of them I know. Like, I know exactly what's coming next. And so I'll hum along, you know?
yeah.
And so even though it doesn't have lyrics, I'll, you know.
Do you know what the most obvious thing is to study music to? Gregorian chant.
Oh, yeah, your dad. Your dad does that.
I was joking, but awesome.
No, he used to. Don't you remember that?
No.
He used to, when he was pastor, and would be, you know, studying theology and like preparing for a sermon and stuff like that, he'd listen to Gregorian chant.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Or then it would branch into other like choral works.
I do think I like more, for the most part, I like more modern Gregorian chant. That's like in video games and such.
Oh, like
Halo.
Halo. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
That soothes my smooth brain.
your smooth brain.
It just glides right over the surface.
You should brag more about your smooth brain.
I do to everyone. I do.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can feel it.
Anyway, back to the classical music. Because I would hum along too much with that stuff, that's when I started doing the Rainy Cafe thing, because the thing I like about it is you can toggle the volume of each of the elements, and
Interesting.
and
I
the
like that.
cafe noises would be too loud and distracting to me. So I would kind of like put those down, and I would bring the rainstorm up, and it was like a thunderstorm. So
It's like you're sitting outside of a cafe.
kind
on a
of,
rainy
yeah.
day.
And you just hear like the pitter patter of rain, and then every once in a while you'd hear the roll of thunder, and and that is just sort of like almost like a white noise kind of a thing. And then I discovered brown noise, and that is literally just like, actually kind of sounds like the thrumming of the bottom of a waterfall, like water kind of. So not quite like static, like a warmer sort of.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And that, I don't know what it is about that, but I put that on, and all of a sudden my brain goes whoosh and focuses.
Oh man, I wish. I've tried anything, and I think it's just because I don't really like it too much, to the point where it actually distracts me more by having it.
Wait, what?
Brown noise.
Oh, brown noise.
Anything. Any of the stuff I've tried, like brown noise, video game soundtracks. Because video game soundtracks, I am then guessing what game it's coming from without looking at the thing. So it's not. That's not helpful.
Then it's
for
a
me.
trivia game.
Yeah, it's like, what music is this from?
Oh my gosh, that's
I'd
funny.
probably be really good at guessing it by now, but
I would actually be really curious to hear what different people, because I remember when you were in elementary school, elementary, junior high, one of the two or both.
I was in school.
When you were in school, you would have the TV on while you were doing homework, and you would say it actually helped you concentrate better.
Yeah. I still do that.
And I could not fathom that. So at first I was like, no, like you're just trying to get away with, blah, blah, blah. And then eventually I was like, well, maybe this does work for him. And so I'll just, let him do it. And if it looks like it's starting to cause problems for him in school, then we'll have a talk, But yeah, that was just unfathomable to me, because that would be so distracting to me. It would be just so distracting.
It's also it wasn't as common then to know about like ADHD and like
Well,
what.
it was common.
No, I just meant like what can help certain people with ADHD. But I still do that. I play video games and I watch TV at the same time I play video games. Bothers Shelby to no degree though, because there's too many noises going on.
Yeah,
at
I
once,
don't like the conflicting noises. Yeah,
conflicting noises help me so much. So here's the thing. So
you're wrong.
for competitive games,
Mm-hmm.
I like to not have any music on because I want to be able to hear everything. But
Mm-hmm.
because I'm concentrating so much on all the noise that's going around in the game, it almost acts as more noise. Versus if I'm just playing a game that's like, I know what I'm doing. I'm not doing anything new.
Gotcha.
I can just listen to something in the background and the game noise does not bother me at all. And then it's just something else. Because then what I do is I'm playing a game like Warframe and I'm doing the same thing that I've done a million times before. Mm-hmm. And I'm already queuing out the sound. Like I'll still react to the sound, but that's just because it's muscle memory at this point. I know what the sounds relate to. But then I start getting distracted and not doing anything in the game. But then if I listen to something else, the sound keeps. It's almost like people who have I forget what it's called, but like where people need to always have something in their mouth.
It's an oral fixation.
Yeah, I kind of have that with like listening to things.
Interesting. You got a hum in your drum?
Still got a hum in the drum. Plays music to drown it out.
No, I do not. Although I do want to watch that movie again.
All that took was saying hum in the drum, and now or were you already like?
I already wanted to watch it again. So Baby Driver, that is. That must be why I like movies so much that have such a like music center to it, like Baby Driver or Guardians of the Galaxy, where it has like such a driving force, no pun intended.
Yeah.
In the movie.
Well, I always appreciate when a soundtrack is good.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like I mean, a good soundtrack, but also
It makes the movie.
It really does. And I have to say, even what I found really interesting with Reacher, the TV series, not the movies, is
Good.
yeah, is
Movie suck.
is I always find their song choices to be very interesting, because if you just listen to them for the like the rhythm and the beat and the kind of song it is, it's still fine. You're like, this
Yeah.
feels like a good song for the scene, but the lyrics are always like right on
the spot.
point.
It
Yeah,
is. It really is.
Which I've never noticed it that much with other things, except for love songs when there's something lovey-dovey happening. Like, but like that's
Some
kind of
stuff.
generic and easy. You
Some
know?
stuff in like Baby Driver, or like some of those,
but
where like the music is the driving force. It might be that way, mm-hmm. But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And then Baby Driver was just, it felt like the music thrusted the movie forward.
I mean, that
know?
was the whole point.
Yeah.
They I loved all the scenes where they had to match what they were doing with the beat of the music.
Yeah.
And like the gunshots would match like the
Right,
same
yeah.
note or something
Yeah.
like that every time.
I really like when movies and TV shows incorporate the music into like what the people are doing, not in the way that you just said, but like it's purposefully part of the Scrubs. Do you remember the Good Time, the song Good Time?
I know the
And
song.
it starts like, somebody's like flicking the IV line and another person's like tapping a pencil and like,
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And he's like looking around like, why is everybody doing everything in rhythm to the song I'm listening to? You know what I mean? And I've always loved that scene. And I love when they do that at other places, or they even have like the characters themselves start to do it and then realize, oh, we're like tapping out a beat,
Yeah, I think that's why I've been liking more modern musicals. I think older musicals still were kind of too boring for me. It's true.
You just murdered the hearts of an entire generation, Malcolm.
Yeah. There are still a couple
Apologize
older
to your
ones.
grandmother.
There are still a couple older ones that are good. But then stuff like Hamilton, it just soothes my smooth brain once more.
Hamilton was so good.
Yeah, but I think it's because a lot of older musicals were cheesy as well.
Yeah, I mean, compared to things, things change in style over the years, right?
Yeah.
And so
I only
there was,
like my musicals at a certain level of cheese.
Yeah.
And
yeah, and those were, they were very, of that time. They're very
I like
family focused.
like
and
High School Musical divided by 2 level of cheese.
High School Musical divided by 2. I don't even know half of High School Musical. What is that?
I just want
The TV series?
I just want to hear that someone react to that out of context as half of High School Musical High School Musical divided by 2 level of cheese.
Yes. Yes. You should order your pizzas that way from now on. Yeah, I can go for a cheesy musical if that's what I'm in the mood for.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed some of the Disney, like Camp Rock. Thank you. I was like Camp Rhythm, Camp Sound, Camp. Like
Can't get with it.
I couldn't remember the name of it. Like Camp
Shake It
Rock
Off.
and the like High School. I liked High School Musical. I even liked their zombie one, which was so ridiculous, but it was funny. I enjoy those for like what they are. But what I really liked about Hamilton and In the Heights and things like that was it was taking a different approach, you know.
Yeah, imagine someone pitching to you the idea of taking that time period and then being like, I'm gonna make a rap musical out of it.
Oh, he's talked about pitching that idea. Everybody thought he was nuts. Like, they were just like, he even did an early, I don't know if you've ever seen this video, but he did an early iteration of it at the White House when Obama was president. And even Obama seemed like, you're making a musical about the founding fathers? Like, you know, like, 'cause it was just like, it felt like such an absurd idea, you know?
Yeah.
And then people started listening to it and seeing it, and they were like,
holy shit.
whoa, this is good, you know?
Another thing is there's a certain level of like songs or music where you can only identify it with like a show or something like that, or like it's the theme for a show. One thing that always comes to mind is I think it's the song's called "It Was Here" for Community.
Yeah, that was a good theme song. And then
At least it was here.
At least it was here. I was going to say, I didn't think that was, yeah, at least it was here. And then there's the musical moments that you attach to a song and you can never not think of, like, I Want It That Way from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yes.
And you like,
I want it that way. Oh, chills. Literal chills.
It was number 5. Number 5 killed my brother.
Oh my God, I forgot about that part.
yeah. It's so funny because we said that last night, right? We you know we were singing that, and then Ray was like,
Number 5.
and literally an hour later, I was looking at videos on TikTok, and somebody had that song, and somebody commented, I can't ever hear this song without shouting number 5. And I was like, these are my people. And I can't hear that song anymore
No, my
without thinking
favorite
about
song
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
From Brooklyn Nine-Nine is when Jake is interrogating someone and just starts screaming while strumming. That is one of my
That's
favorites.
some good music right
This
there.
is one of my favorite scenes from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Just the pure chaotic nature of Jake coming out in that moment. It makes me think of D&D. Like, it just makes me think like someone in D&D's like doing that and rolling an intimidation check or something like that.
Oh yeah. That's funny.
One thing I've gotten a lot of my friend group as well to like get stuck in their heads, because I think I've showed you this music before as well, was it was the Fortuna music.
Oh, Fortuna?
No.
The big choral.
No, not O Fortuna.
No.
It's a location called Fortuna.
Oh.
In Warframe, and it was the like mining song.
Oh, is it the
Bum. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've gotten my entire friend group like,
We All Lift?
yeah, we all live together.
Yeah. I actually really like that song. Like, you would play me different video game things over the years, and usually it would be like the more soundtracky kind of things, like the more orchestral, and I'd be like, oh, that's good, or whatever. And sometimes you play me a song here or there, and I'd be like, what is that? But then I was like, I actually really like this.
It is so good. It's really crazy. The person who does the music for Warframe is Keith Power. And so he does stuff like Age of Ultron as well.
Oh.
But it's really funny because I've seen so many memes for Warframe where it's like, oh yeah, this video game is a looter shooter, and then it like trails off the sentence and then just goes into the music for the game, and everyone's like, why is the music for this random game so good for what the game is supposed to be?
Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff, and that's, that was my bachelor's degree is in music composition, and my original goal was actually to write music for movies. And at that point, there just really wasn't as far as I was aware, there wasn't a lot of that epic music for video games yet. And I kind of wish that
You
thing.
mean that
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was
wasn't
like,
epic music?
No, like, it was yeah. Right. Yeah, it wasn't like, yeah. And
Man, even the music sounded pixelated for those.
that's what I was thinking. I was like, 8-bit music for 8-bit graphics.
I mean, it probably helps psychologically.
Yeah, fits, right? Yeah, you're not going to have like this big orchestral
Now
thing
I'm
while you're
thinking
like,
of-
doing.
Now I'm thinking of like O Fortuna playing while playing Mario or something like that.
Mario's plates. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and I kind of wish that had been a thing that I was aware of, or I don't know. I don't know at what point in video game evolution that became a thing. And
Actually, wouldn't surprise me if it was Halo
when did Halo come out?
2001.
Well, then it wasn't too long after I graduated, but I played video games, and then when I was younger, and then in high school, I got busy with, musicals and newspaper and choir and, volleyball, and I wasn't playing. So I missed whatever evolution that was until
I was getting into stuff.
Well, but then also things were getting into the mainstream to be aware, and I kind of wish I had known about that, because I feel like maybe I would have tried to stick with it and done something, because that feels more manageable for some reason than a movie. I don't know why, but it's probably not.
I don't know.
But I also don't have the easy access to equipment and software that people have today. I had to write my senior thesis out by hand on staff paper. And then I had to write all the individual, I had to have the full piece for the conductor, and then I had to write the individual parts for each instrument.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, I still
You were
have.
just thinking about writing that?
No. I still have all of my homework that I had to write out in like Google in my Google Drive still.
Really?
And I'll probably always have it for the rest of my life. And that weirds me out that I'm going to be able to, at any point I want to, look at my middle school
could
to
delete
high
it.
school homework. I mean, I could, but I mean, every once in a while there's been projects or something that I've wanted to pull up and like show people or like actually expand upon. That's more rare, but
Yeah, that's the thing. I just got the warning the other day. It was just like, your Google Drive's getting pretty full. And, or it may have been Gmail. I don't know. But I'm always like, oh, I'll keep this just in case, which is a lot easier to do digitally. Like in your house, you only have so much room, your house, your apartment, wherever you live. There's only so much you can keep, I know there are people who really challenge that, but digitally it's almost like, oh, just keep this just in case. And so, when I first got started in career world, you'd have to delete.
Sounds like a really depressing
alternative reality.
I was thinking like amusement park. Go on.
Ride the subway. No.
You think you're getting to the other end of the park? No, this is the main ride.
No, there'd be buses.
Walk
and
through the
Ubers.
halls of filing cabinets.
Yes. Oh, maybe you have to dodge them. Like the drawers are coming jutting out.
I was thinking more like Hall of Mirrors. But
Oh, no. It could actually be a haunted house.
Perfect.
House of Horrors kind of thing, where it's like, okay, now you have to dodge your chatty coworker. Anyway,
House of Broken Careers.
they're just, at some point, they'd just be like, watch the sadness unfurl or whatever. And it would just be like, and a mirror opens up and so you're just looking into it.
No, but it's one of those mirrors that like make the middle half of your body look bigger than it actually is.
Yeah. Oh my
Welcome
gosh.
to middle age.
I don't even remember. Hey. Man. Oh, it's so depressing. This
If you
thing.
didn't react to it, everything would have been fine. But now you've reacted to it. So.
Gosh. Yeah. Actually, I had the really depressing thought. Somebody said something about middle age the other day, and I was like, oh, I hate being called middle age. And then I thought, oh, dang. If this is my middle age, I'd actually live a really long life. And so I was like, I'm past halfway through my life. And I was just, it was like a very depressing
You're
thought.
having an existential crisis.
I've been having an existential crisis for the last 2 years. It's just, I feel like everything happened all at once and my body betrayed me. And like, yeah. Getting old sucks.
Anyways, another part,
Yeah, I
nice
don't
part
remember what I was
about YouTube Music, besides all this depressing career world shit,
I'm just going to go cry in a corner.
but there's actually been a lot of creators on YouTube that will come out with stuff, but it won't be on Apple Music. And so now
really?
I can add all of those things
Interesting.
to my YouTube Music. Technically, it's a video still, but
Right.
it'll still play it as
Right.
if it was
Yeah.
just audio. So
Yeah. Yeah.
some of them did, like Nerd Out, who makes songs.
Oh, yeah, I know
about
you
video
like that.
games.
Yeah.
I actually don't like most of their stuff. A lot of the stuff just sound, because it's usually iterations of songs that already exist
Just changing the lyrics or
into
whatever.
a video game.
Yeah.
Some of them are just absolutely amazing though, and then most of them are just kind of because they come out with so many of them. So.
Yeah.
But there's a couple like funny ones I listen to, like Tom Cardy is really funny. But then I've always wanted to have The Great Day by Lonely Island that I think was like
I don't know why, but today seems like it's gonna be a great day.
That one.
it is only on YouTube, and so that was my first thought when I had YouTube Music was that I am putting that on my album or on my playlist.
Do we still have the picture of that hanging inside the cabinet?
Now I gotta see.
You're gonna go look. I think I put that. Didn't I put that out for your trip, your tour of UT, like that day? It's the picture of Andy Samberg from that video for Great Day. And it says, I don't know why, but I think it's going to be a great day. And I'm pretty sure I put it out for Malcolm's college tour.
It's still there. Well, not anymore. I just pulled it off.
Oh, man. It probably won't stick anymore now.
No, I'll put it back on.
I
It
never
is so crinkled now, though.
took it down. So anytime somebody opens that cabinet to throw something in the trash can, that's what they see.
I've never thought about all of my new friends since then that I've opened that cabinet and I've seen that. I've never thought about that before.
Yeah, that's funny. I never even thought about putting like goofy stuff like that in there. Oh, I could probably even put, although might be on Apple Music. There's some like scenes from movies that the people in the movie are singing, like Pitch Perfect.
Yeah. Some of them they do, some of them they don't. I think something as popular as Pitch Perfect probably would.
Probably has like a soundtrack with it available.
Yeah. But there are a lot of movies or such that aren't as popular as Pitch Perfect. That's also like literally a song movie, so
Right.
it would be kind of weird if they
Right.
didn't.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
There was one oh there's some game trailers. There's a lot of game trailers, and since they're just trailers, they're never put up on like Apple Music or anything, but it'll be a variation of the song that's playing, and it's just like sounds amazing because like
Interesting.
they'll edit certain parts of it to be like louder or lower or like extend a part of the song or shorten a part of the song, and so it sounds really good. And so now that's something I'm gonna have to go through and find, because there was so many times where I'd be looking it up and nobody would have like posted it or anything, so I can try to get it on there. But yeah,
That's cool.
a lot of trailers, so I'll probably start doing that.
I totally forgot that we had made this change to YouTube Premium, and so I hadn't put together the music yet. But also, I was watching a couple videos on YouTube, and I was like, "Wow, none of these have commercials. That's so rare."
That was Shelby's realization was that the other day she was watching stuff and she's like, I haven't seen a commercial in a while. Oh,
Yeah, that is like exactly what I did, and it like genuinely Because every once in a while I'll watch something and it won't have a commercial, and I'm like, that's strange that it doesn't have a commercial. How did that happen? You know, and yeah.
It used to be before YouTube Premium that creators got to choose when the YouTube ads came in, and then YouTube started losing a lot of money because everyone started doing sponsorships. And so then that's when they started doing ads no matter what, which a lot of people hated, obviously.
Sure.
And then they did YouTube Premium so people can pay to not have ads.
Yeah. I actually don't mind that as a, tiered kind of thing. Like, I know that
that makes sense.
I think it makes sense.
I think it's YouTube Premium is definitely one of those things where at first it wasn't really worth it, but now at this point it is so worth it because like you get some free movies, you get YouTube Music, you get to watch YouTube, and you can send your phone to sleep and it won't just stop the sound.
Yeah, that's one of the things that used to annoy me.
It's like such a specific thing, but it's like
Yeah.
one of those things where you've done it before and then it annoys you that it doesn't continue playing.
Yeah.
And no ads. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, it doesn't seem too excessively expensive, but I have to tell you, this podcast is brought to you by this just speaking of subscriptions. I just learned this the other day. I can't believe I just learned this, but did you know that certain cars have subscriptions?
Yeah.
Like for features.
Yep.
That is such bullshit. Like the stuff exists in the car,
But you can't use it
but
until
you can't use it unless you pay a subscription.
Everything has subscriptions now.
It's so dumb. And the
That's why I hate so many programs nowadays too, because there's so many programs that you used to be able to just buy and then you have the program forever.
oh yeah.
But now there's so many programs or websites or something that offer a service
Yeah.
that
That's a subscription service instead. Well, the thing that blew my mind was the person was like, oh yeah, I have to pay a subscription for my heated seats. And I'm like, if they're able to heat, like,
yeah, that's so weird.
it's in the car. Like that mechanism is available
Just
in the
buy
car.
the car.
Yeah, like it should just come. And I was reading, so I started looking it up, and I was reading an article about it, and they were positing in the article that some of the stuff might go away because they're like,
You own it.
Their point was, because some people were like, oh yeah, and I paid off my car, but I still have to pay the subscription. And their point was like, there's no feasible reason why a car company should be doing this. Like there's nothing, it doesn't cost them more for you to run the heated seats in a car you already bought from them.
Yeah.
And
There are a couple websites that I am subscribed to. I own, not the website, but I own like my
your content
account that is now a legacy account because I bought it forever ago for like $5 and now it's like $5 a month subscription. But since I bought it so long ago, it doesn't.
Yeah. We have a legacy. Our Disney is a legacy subscription. It's still a monthly subscription, but when we signed up right when it came available, and we signed up for the bundle of Disney, Hulu, and ESPN3,
Espen,
which I didn't realize we still had, and I don't think your dad did either. So like, I think he would have been able to watch some games that he wanted to watch.
I thought we had it, but
we
he
do.
always said we didn't. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, so we have all three. And I was looking at pricing the other day because I was like, well, what if we got rid of this part? What if we got rid of Hulu? How much would Disney Plus be? And, I was looking at all that, and it's like, unless we're really just not going to use Hulu, which I use.
I'm going to use it to watch Shogun.
Oh. Yeah, it's not worth it for us to get rid of it because then if we wanted to sign back up with the bundle, it'll cost way more.
Yep.
And in fact, just signing up to have Hulu, I don't think they even offer they either don't even offer ESPN3 anymore, or it would be more just to have Hulu and Disney than to have all three like we do now. So, so I was really confused when I was looking at the packages because I was like, none of these are the package we have. And then I looked and saw our account was like legacy, whatever. So, yeah. So
I have
probably
a lot
won't
of
be getting that.
legacy accounts.
Yeah. I just don't. Like I said, there are some subscriptions that make sense to me. Like the YouTube Premium makes sense. There are other ones that make sense, like because there's people who continually work on code and to keep something updated or whatever. But the BS of a car, like that, just I can't get over it. I cannot get over it. Yeah, you own it. If you even if you have a loan, like the money has gone to the dealer, you're paying the bank back for it. So you own it. Why should you have to pay a subscription for this thing? It just reeks of corporate greed,
Amen.
Yeah. So I can understand stuff like there's those like roadside assistance things. Like you have a subscription for that because they provide a service, you know, or a subscription for Sirius XM. Like that's a but heated seats. Just I can't get over it.
Anyway. Yeah, I'd actually recommend. I haven't used it much, but it seems like it's pretty well priced for what it is. And honestly, Apple stuff is not that good in my opinion. So
I know you've never liked it.
The Apple Music app isn't the greatest.
I like Apple products. I like the phone, the iPad, the computers, blah blah blah. But and Apple Music was fine.
I think Apple Music and Apple Podcasts is like okay for what it is, but there's clearly better apps.
You think?
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't even think about it. I don't know if our Apple bundle included the podcasts.
I don't know. I don't know. I actually think Apple Podcasts is fine to use as like as a user, but using it as a creator sucks.
Oh.
Apple Podcasts sucks as a platform for a creator because Apple does everything completely separate from everyone, which is why I do not like Apple. And so, therefore, it's like I have to re-upload everything separately.
That's so interesting because I use Buzzsprout for ours, and it just connects to everything, including Apple. So
It might have just been in the past. I don't know, but I've always had to manually change stuff in Apple Podcasts.
It could also be whoever you're subscribed through.
Might be.
I have no idea. I've never had a problem. So,
but
anyway,
we're out of time.
Yeah. Do you have any music to play us off? Oh, actually, you do.
Go post me.
What?
Like future me, not post me on like socials or something.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought.
No, like
yeah, you'll have some music added to this, so let that play you out.
Yes, great.
Okay.
Good, bye.
Bye.